Can you improve on a good thing? In the case of Parmigiano Reggiano, I think it would be tough. But here's an idea. You know, we were in the Caseificio where we saw how Parmigiano was made. But today I'm doing something a little different. I've grated up some Parmigiano, and I have it here in a frying pan. And all I want to do is get this to a solidified form while it's still soft so that I can take it out and roll it around a cannoli form, because I'm making cannoli di Parmigiano Reggiano. You can take it out onto a little cutting board. It's very hot, so you want to be very careful. Let me just turn my heat off there so I don't forget about that. And then I like to use a wooden cannoli form, and these happen to belong to my maternal grandmother. And while the cheese is still warm, you roll it up onto the form, and that makes the cannoli shell. You want to be very gentle with that. And then just where the seam is, keep the form down. And then as this cools, you'll be able to remove the cheese from the form. And where are you going to get wooden cannoli forms? Well, you're going to go to the hardware store and get yourself a dowel rod and have them cut into lengths about 6 to 8 inches. I do not recommend that you try using this on a metal form because it's just a little too hot to handle. But if you were adventuresome, I guess you could. So there is our cannolo shell, just like you were making regular cannolis. Now, what am I going to do with that? I'm going to fill it. And if you remember, when we were in Emilia-Romagna, you cannot go to Bologna without talking about bologna. And I'm talking about the true bologna of Emilia-Romagna, and in this case, Bologna. And here's a little tip for you. If you are in Bologna and you go to a store that sells Mortadella, which is the true bologna, you will never have it with pistachio nuts because they don't make it that way in Bologna. In other places, yes, but not in Bologna. So here we have to use what we can buy and what we can get, and we have it with pistachio nuts. And you see the little flecks of lard because mortadella must be 60% good pork and 40% fat. And I want to put that right into the food processor and whirl that up, because I want to make something called a spuma. And a spuma means a foam, something foamy. So you want to really mince that up well. It's nice and fine. And then I like to mix it with a little bit of heavy cream. Or you could use a little bit of mascarpone if you want to. But I think the heavy cream kind of lightens up a little bit and gives it that whole feel of being a spuma. So here is some heavy cream. That's about a half a cup, and I've got a half a pound of mortadella. I put it in with the cream. And this is a great way to start a dinner party, or if you want to have something light for a summer luncheon, try this spuma idea because I just think that this is very nifty. So there is the mortadella. I love saying that word. And then with it, we want some, of course, Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. And there it is. And when you go to the store, you want to make sure that you are buying true Parmigiano. And you'll know that by looking on the rind and seeing the words Parmigiano Reggiano written in pin dots. So now we mix up the cream with the mortadella and the cheese. And we don't need any salt because we have the salt already in the cheese, and we've got pistachio nuts and black peppercorns in the mortadella. And this just makes a nice mixture. Then what I like to do is put that into a pastry bag, a tipless pastry bag, just like this. And then you can fill your shells. Well, now here's that shell that I just made, and with just a little twist, you see how beautiful that comes off. So you can make many of those. So then you fill your pastry bag, no tip, and you just pipe the mortadella mixture right into the cannoli shell, just like that. And then later on, I'm going to show you how I like to serve that. I give that a little bit of dressing up with some asparagus. So that's so easy to do and a wonderful thing to do with Parmigiano Reggiano.